Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to look at a modification for the Gravel T-Series. And it makes the T-Series a racing truck, so I believe the best place to start off would be a racing location, so let's go to Hirochi Raceway. So let's go ahead and spawn it. It's under the normal Gravel T-Series. It's called the T65 Racing Truck by AR162B. And by default, it comes in Flame Orange, and I like Flame Orange, and I like saying Flame Orange. So we're going to use Flame Orange, because Flame Orange. You can't argue with that logic. Anyways, let's do a quick overview of the visual modifications to the truck, the most obvious of which is the giant wing. That wing is so big, if I put it on my car would probably just tip over. That thing is absurd, and I love it. The next thing you'll probably notice is the roll cage right here, which is protecting the fuel tank to some extent, I would assume, because the fuel tank has been moved from the side of the truck over here to behind the driver right there. And it makes sense from a safety perspective, because let's imagine you had two normal big rigs with the fuel tanks right here on the side, and you scrape each other. Then your fuel tank breaks open and sparks fly into the fuel. Then your truck is now on fire. That's a crazy hypothetical solution, but it could happen, maybe. I don't know. But it's for safety that the fuel tank has been moved there. That is part of the mod. And instead of having fuel tanks here on the side, we just have a giant side skirt and a wheel cover that has been made to kind of fit with that side skirt. So those are all the more obvious visual modifications from the mod, but there are two other things that are a little bit harder to notice. The first one is the headlight covers. So now instead of having headlights right here, you just have these little pieces of plastic, I guess, which don't light up. You see the headlights are fully on, and there's nothing. All the light is coming from these other lights. These ones are now not light. The other thing is the exhaust. So if we look under the truck, you'll see the exhaust goes here and stops right there. And instead of having a normal exhaust, it now points upwards, which is kind of weird. And honestly, that might actually give you some downforce, believe it or not, because in real life, I know like top fuel dragsters have their exhaust pointed upward, and they're able to get a fairly significant amount of downforce out of it because their engines are so absurd. This one doesn't have an engine nearly as absurd as a top fuel dragster, but it is still pretty crazy. It's a racing edition of the stock engine, basically. It has like more torque and more horsepower, and I guess we could just move on to like all the performance-related modifications now. So, like I said, the engine's been changed. Transmission's also been changed. Instead of having a 13-speed gearbox, excuse me, we now have a 5-speed gearbox, which makes sense because in a normal race car, you never hear of them having much more than that many gears. You know, there'll be some that have more than that, but you don't want too many gears because gears are heavy when you start having a ton of them, and you know, a 13-speed gearbox, you're spending so much time shifting, it gets tiresome. Well, at least for me, I would get tired of that. Like, 13-speed gearbox is crazy. Like, shift, all right, accelerate for a half a second, shift. At least with a race car, it'd be like that. So a 5-speed gearbox makes sense, is what I'm getting at. The next thing is the differential's been modified. It's a limited slip differential, which allows it to swing around corners pretty good. And with that, it also has a modified suspension setup, which is a little bit stiffer and a little bit lower. And the steering is a little bit faster. Like, you hit go left and it goes left. It doesn't kind of hang around like the other big rig does, or the normal big rig does. And that's pretty much all of the modifications to the truck that I can remember. I think that's all of them, but there might be one or two I'm missing. That is what the racing truck has, and the real question is, how does that all come together? And it's alright. Like, the thing is, this is still a 5-ton vehicle. It's not going to be a really fast racing vehicle, but in terms of 5-ton vehicles, it's really fast. Like, you know, it's like that. It's a fast big rig, but it's not a fast race car. I mean, I think it's fun to drive. It's just one of those things where it's weird, but it's fun. Let's go and get a nice crash right there. We got all the pieces falling off, and you can kind of just see the way they fall off and how things look when they do fall off. But I want to go to a different map to do some actual racing kind of driving some more, because it's downhill, which means momentum of 5,000 kilograms. So let's go to CMM22, which is actually just Corkscrew Mountain. Alright, let's go ahead and grab the truck, and we're still going to use the Flame Orange because after seeing it in Flame Orange the first time, I really liked it. And if you don't like it, you're crazy, because that's a great color, man. And anyways, we're going to make our way down Corkscrew Mountain, and I'm not going to do this to like set a record or nothing. This is not going to be the world's fastest Corkscrew Mountain with a big rig ever or anything like that. The goal is just to not crack, because that way I can focus on talking about the vehicle and not having to make sure I nail every corner as fast as possible. I'm still going to be going at a relatively high rate of speed, but I will make sure I'm taking every corner relatively safely so I don't end up falling off. Because if I don't do that, I'll be like, I can make it, I can make it, I can make it, and I'll still be yelling, I can make it, as I roll down the mountain. Which is not the goal. The goal is to not roll down the mountain. We'll do crashing later on. Right now, though, it's driving time. And it does feel faster, though, when you're all going downhill. It's funny, it feels faster going downhill, even though it's the same truck as I was driving on Hirochi Raceway. All that flat ground and minor inclines makes it feel slow. All these downhills, on the other hand, it's fast. And there are a few glitches that are known with the truck. There's 3 of them that I've actually experienced. And the first of which you kind of just saw right there. Under certain circumstances, under like heavy braking or heavy acceleration from a standstill, you can really shake the thing. Like the rear wing, if you're watching it right there as I brake, you'll see it shook a lot. And right here under acceleration, it's shaking again. Here's another demonstration real quick. Braking. Lots of shaking. So I just wanted to point that out. That's one of them. The other 2, they're kind of situational. One of them is the transmission or drive shaft or something seems to be kind of fragile. So if you go over a jump, it seems to break really easy. Oh, okay, there's another one. So right there you can see we have damaged the suspension, which caused the tire to kind of go inside the truck, and it wasn't rotating anymore. Which is the reason we fell off of the mountain, actually. At least that's what I say. I blame it. Because it caught me off guard. When I hit go left and it didn't go left, it just went straight. And then we crashed. Yeah, that's pretty set and dry that the truck caused that, not me. And I think the reason for that is when we went over this kind of crest right here, and when the ground leveled out here, too much weight was put in the front suspension. And then it just burst. Which led to the truck braking like that, and now it's gonna fall down the mountain. So let's just watch it fall down the mountain then. And the other glitch, like I was saying though, is the driveline or transmission or something. Like when you drop the truck from a small height, you can break it there entirely, so it's just immobilized. And those are the 3 major glitches I've noticed, and they're also known by the developer already, so there is a possibility they'll be fixed in the future versions. But right now, it's exactly how you see it. You know, you saw right there that little jump right there. Well, it wasn't even a jump. It was just kind of a hard landing coming in from a downhill. Was enough to damage the suspension because it's pretty weak. The next one, though, I could demonstrate right here. If you spawn the vehicle like that, that broke it, I think. Yep. Oh, when did I hit manual, huh? There, anyways, it is broken, though. You can see that. And actually, I've noticed even if you reset it, sometimes it could reset in a way where it's too high up and it'll still be broken. That one was not one of them. But if you're on a hill or something, you can reset it just like that, where you do Control R to reset it in place, and it still won't drive because it's just too big of a drop. And those are the glitches I've noticed about the truck, though. And before it crashed, you got a pretty good idea of how it would drive, I would think. We could also do a little bit of uphill, which is going to be interesting because I'm pretty sure it's going to be, once we get to the steep parts, just hold the gas pedal to the floor all the way, and you don't need any brakes because you can't go fast enough for them. I'm not sure if that'll actually be the case, but I'm guessing it will be. So right here, though, it's flat enough where I might actually brake a little bit. I'm trying not to, just for laughs. I'm going to say no brake from this point on. Although it sounds like one of the tires isn't doing so hot. I think there's a lot of skid sounds for apparently no reason. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to keep holding the gas pedal down. I hear nothing. My car is fine. Or my truck is fine. I don't hear a thing. Yeah, something's not right, though. So you see, for a hill climb, it's going to take a while. It'll make it, no problem, though. This thing has so much torque, it's not a problem of getting up the hill. It's just doing it fast. Well, now I'm bored, so let's just say, oh no, this corner is so good. It tricked me. Oh, and then we fell. That's actually a really steep cliff. And in the water we go. So let's go ahead and go to a different map and do some actual crashing with this now that we've done some racing. I figure we do the racing first because it's a race truck. And the more interesting thing to me would be the racing versus the crashing. So let's make our way to grid map, though, and do the crashing now. So I want to only do tests that actually test the new modified additions to the truck and not the truck itself. Which means we're going to try to damage all the things I talked about at the very start of the video only. And I think the easiest way to start this off will be to use another car to crash into it, because the side skirts and stuff, if you want to damage those, you either have to drift into something at a very precise angle, or just drive another car straight into it. That one sounds a lot easier, doesn't it? So we're gonna do that. And you know what? Let's get a different color on this bowl light. I don't know why, but I really dislike red bowl lights. Like, bowl lights should be blue. The blue bowl light, BB. Not Bill Belichick. Blue bowl light. But anyways, I just like having the blue. Like, it fits so much better to me. And anyways, into the truck we go. Alright. The bowl light is definitely stuck, I think. Yeah, it's not moving nowhere. So the bowl light is stuck. The truck itself doesn't seem like it has any damage aside from the side skirt falling off. We'll see if that's true or not once I try to move the bowl light out the way. Put it right there. Can you drive still? Well, that's not a good sign. I'm not steering left or right or anything. I'm just holding the gas pedal down and it's doing that. So I'm pretty sure it has more damage than just a lost side skirt. There's probably some bend in the frame or something that's causing that, I would guess. I don't know. Either way, it's undrivable, so we'll reset it, and here's a test. Can it do the suspension test? The easy one. This one right here. I don't think it did it too well. Like, that front tire looks like it was wobbling too much to actually be fully attached now. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. It's hard to tell. No, that right tire, like, I'm going full right, full left, full right, left, right, left. You see how it kind of just stalls in the middle? That's a broken one. If I actually stop, you could also tell. Because look, it's sagging. So yeah, it's broken. Let's go and reset that. How about a jump? Can the suspension do a jump? I'm really doubting this. I'm pretty sure when we do this jump, it's going to really just bottom out on the front and be terrible. But we're going to try it anyways. Yep, not good. Right, yeah, right front tire is toast. Like, it won't even rotate anymore. Also, the drivetrain is no longer functional because I'm holding the gas pedal and those wheels aren't moving. How about this? Can we rip the wing off and still drive it all right? All we have to do is just grab it right here and then back it into the glass panel over there. We should be able to rip the wing off without doing any significant damage to the truck itself. We just go bop. Nope, not like that. Come on. Yeah. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, come on. Get freedom. This is America. This truck needs freedom. See, the hard part is I gotta put the truck kind of... Well, actually, I can put it inside the ground and let it rise. That way I don't have to worry about the distance falling, damaging it. So the wing is somehow still attached at 2 of the points, it looks like. It looks like 2 out of 4 points are broken. The other 2 are still good to go. Which makes it like dancing like crazy though. When we start braking, you'll see it really dance. I just gotta get up to speed first. Get it up to about 70, I think, and then we'll slam on the brake. Oh, it didn't dance that much, actually. Oh, weird. Anyways, what else can we do to kind of test the crashingness? I mean, the wing does come off all the way. I don't know if I've shown that yet. I can't remember. Like, I know I did some crashes in the first racing thing, and I don't remember if the wing came off. I think it did, didn't it? Either way, wing off. Well, that's basically off. Like, it's kind of inside the truck, but that's just the way it crashed. One thing that's funny is I've actually had it happen once. I didn't figure it out. I was gonna say I figured it out how, but it was just a matter of luck. I managed to pop the fuel tank off and still drive it. Like, I hit something, fuel tank flew off, and it was like, oh, we're still good to go. And we were good forever. Like, I didn't have to worry about running out of fuel or anything. Well, until it normally would. It was just funny. Like, no fuel tank and we can still drive. Up. How the light covers holding up? Oh, they did great. I mean, those ones, it's kind of not something that gets crashed. So it's like, yeah, it's still there. Okay, great. Here's another idea. Can it do the test over there? That crazy loop-de-loop track. I really, really doubt it can. But we're going to try it anyways because we can. Going to plop the truck right there. Reset it too, just in case it got damaged. Let's see if it can do it. And now, knowing me, this first time I probably won't even make it through the first corner because that's just something that always happens. Like, it's been a long time since I've done this track. I will find a way to absolutely ruin the first corner. Let's see, can we get around the corner? Corner number 1. Barely made it. Oh my goodness, that height clearance. You have to be like on the left side of the track to make that. I don't think it would have had enough speed to get up that next part, to be honest. Like I would try it again if I felt like it could make it, but it didn't feel like it had enough speed. Like it wasn't gonna make that. Nuh-uh. I'm 90% certain it can't. So let's just do something else instead. How about, what else can we do? Let's go to a different place and do crashing somewhere else. I'm bored of here. Let's go to, I don't know, ultimate terrain. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our way over to the crazy tower, because that is probably the best place for crashing cars on ultimate test terrain. And once we're there, we could go ahead and drive the big rig around some. Do some jumps, do some crashes, all that good stuff, you know what I mean? And finally, we are here. Let's start off by going down that way, the way the vehicle is pointed right now. And you better not fall off truck while I'm changing vehicles, or I will be so mad. Perfect. So now we can just take this thing down and do some nice, serious crashes right here. First one is just going to be a head-on collision like that. Nice and simple. And one thing that was interesting is the side skirt actually flew behind us. It's way over there now. Aside from that, though, I'm, like I said, focusing on the newer parts that are added to the mod. They all look fine. They actually held on for the wheel covers. That's pretty good. Pretty impressive. And I do notice that it's actually hard to maneuver the truck after you go down the ramp, because right there, boom, the suspension blows out and you can't really go left or right. So you just kind of line up beforehand and hope everything works out. Like right there, I hit the jump just like I wanted, but we couldn't go too fast because I was scraping the whole way. This is unfortunate. Alright, let's try to do something different. Back into it. That was so terrible. Well then, that was a disappointment. Let's go the opposite direction. And I'm going in reverse this time because the back wheels are a little bit stronger than the front wheels. So that means when we hit the part where we have to go straight, maybe it'll hold up. Nope, not at all. Not at all. That was terrible, dude. So yeah, the truck isn't really the greatest for crashing because it's like one hit and you're gone. It's a racing vehicle. It's fragile, just like a real racing vehicle would be. Oh, that was interesting. I accidentally spawned it and it just pops off the side skirts like that. Engine pops off. Let's do a basic crash. You know what? We're doing all this crazy stuff and that's just overkill for this vehicle. It's fragile, like I said. It's not going to do well with that. So instead, we'll go to the straightaway, which is right here, and do some things here. Just because I don't have a reason. Like, I don't really have a reason. I'm just thinking, you know what? That stuff over there is boring because the car brakes too fast. So maybe over here it'll hold up. I don't know. It won't. Probably. You know what? I might just have to come to the conclusion that this is a race truck and crashing it is a boring thing. Like, that really might just be the thing. It's just, yeah, that's the fact. So right there, doing kind of an overlap collision. Side skirt falls off. Engine falls out. That is the engine. Or is that the transmission? Oh, that's the transmission. I never looked at it closely. I'm like, wait a minute. The engine's still there. So the transmission fell out. I just didn't look at it close enough to actually see what it was. I just assumed it was the engine. Anyways. Do another crash like this. And maybe we'll just throw this thing off some cliffs, maybe. That'll be what we'll do for crashes. How about this? Can you crash right here? Yes, you can. The front bumper is now lower than the wheels. That's interesting. And now we'll just do a head-on collision. And then we'll make our way to the cliff map and drop it from there a couple of times. And maybe we'll do leap of death and, you know, whatever. Maybe I'll change the order. I don't know. We'll do brutal slope as well. Although I don't think it's really much point. We'll do them anyways. Alright. On to cliff. Where's cliff? Cliff. Alright. Grab the truck. And we'll, let's just keep using color variety for now. Get a really bright baby blue. And roll it down this thing. If I can. You don't have to go far. Just a little bit. And this thing is probably hopeless for off-roading. I'll say that now. With how weak the front suspension is, it'll probably break before you know it and you wouldn't be able to do anything. That's why I'm not bothering to test it. Because I know it probably won't be too good. So instead, we'll just do that. Or we throw it down a cliff. That's fun. One thing I didn't really point out is that the wheel covers and the side skirts are separate objects. Like, I don't know if I made that clear at the start, but they are separate. Although they don't seem to be coming off right here, are they? Oh, there they go. That one's just like, I gotta cover this wheel, man. I can't not cover. I don't know what to do if I'm not covering this wheel. That is my job. Did a good job of its job, though. Look at the... That's an interesting one. You just have it... Oh, hey, where you going? It's running away! I have never seen a drive line run away before. Or a drive shaft run away, or whatever it's called. What part? Yeah, it's just... that is something. It stopped. What if I rev the engine up? Nah. That was interesting, though. Here's another idea. We'll drive it down this, and then we're going to hit brake all brake groups right as we get to the edge. Like, right... Brake all brake group. So there you go. Now every piece is off. The wheel covers aren't as grabby when you use brake all brake groups. That's interesting. This is kind of boring to watch because there's nothing to actually brake. I'm surprised the engine is staying along for the ride so much. Oh, there it goes. Bye-bye, engine. I'll miss you. Funny how there's like some cable or something that's just still attached to the engine. I won't let go of you, engine. I love you. Wherever you are. And there's that piece again falling out. Alright. Let's go ahead, head to Leap of Death and drop it from there. Where is Leap of Death? I have it installed, don't I? There it is. Please ignore the missing textures, which I don't know how to fix anywhere because the method has changed, and just focus on the truck instead. Because that's way easier. Like, I don't have to worry about it if you don't look at it. Just close your eyes when we're on the ramp and open them because, wait, I said that backwards. Open them when we hit the ramp. And you know what I mean. Don't look at the glitchy parts. How's that? Is that simple enough? Anyways, we now flew off. Let's see what happens. We'll do this one at real time. And the next one we'll get some slow-mo. Looks like all the pieces kind of held on. They just, Oh, there they go. Now they're falling off. I was going to say they just got damaged, but there they go. They fell off now. And this thing is spinning. We'll let it go all the way. Because, I don't know. Why not? It's easy. Like, I have to do literally nothing to allow it to go all the way. Can't get any easier than that for me. I still have to talk over it, of course, which is effort. Ugh. But it's not like it's hard. See, but all the parts that are actually part of the mod are gone by now, so it's like, there wasn't really much point to that. We won't do that next time, because that's dumb. Like, all the parts of the mod are gone at this point. They flew off in who knows what direction. One thing I'm surprised about is the vehicle doesn't really seem to level itself out. Like, I figured with that giant wing, it would almost work like a plane and you could just fly it. I guess not. I mean, that's like half joking, of course, you know. You don't be saying, of course it won't fly because blah, 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 the wings are, you know, just there. It doesn't have, yeah, no duh. But I figured something would happen just because sometimes BeamNG.drive physics can be quirky like that. I do see now with the slow-mo that the roll cage does seem to help support the cabin a bit. So you're not totally being crushed to bits. You're definitely dead from the G's, but you're not crushed a bit. Okay, the wheel covers are flying off. The wing is flown off. Side skirts are still there. Go and speed things up a bit. Side skirts still there. Still there. Gone. And fuel tank's gone. Everything of interest is gone. One thing I never did, though, I want to check real quick. I'm done with that one, by the way, because everything of interest was flown. Oh, yeah, you can see the roll cage. I never actually said, hey, I wonder if the roll cage is actually visible inside the truck when you're driving. I just assumed it was. Like, you could probably see the roll cage from the interior, but I never checked that. So now I have. And I have confirmed that you can see it. So let's go ahead and make our way to another map, and this will be the last map, and it'll be Brutal Slope. So we'll just do one quick crash here, and that'll be all. At least that's all I have plans for, is just a single crash. Grab the truck. We'll use red this time to keep the variety of colors going. 3 whole different colors. Woo! That's a lot of variety, ain't it? Not really. That's some serious vibration right there when you have no traction. You can get that thing vibrating real easy. This is totally the way you're supposed to drive your truck. You do a 360, make sure you don't use your scope, and then you line it up. That's the way you're supposed to do it, trust me. No, hey, go straight. Better go straight, dude. There you go. So let's see. The one thing I kind of noticed, though, is it doesn't feel like the wing generates as much downforce as you would expect. Like, at least compared to, like, some other vehicles. Like the Zaxpeed Capri. That thing, when it's going fast, it is glued to the ground because of all the downforce. You don't get the feeling from that as much in this vehicle, it seems like. Even now, going downhill like this, it doesn't have that glued to the ground feeling that the Zaxpeed has, at least not as much. It could just be down to the fact that it weighs so much, period, that causes it to feel like that. I don't know. But that'll be it. There is the side skirt impaling the tire. That is great, I guess. I don't know what to think about that. But anyways, till next time, Mr. WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.